Finally, President Muhammadu Buhari signs a budget of 6.06 trillion naira from the initial 6.08 trillion naira unanimously adopted by the National Assembly after the reworking. The delay in the controversial budget takes about 5 months to be corrected and approved, causing untold hardship to the citizenry. Just as he put ink to paper for the implementation of the budget of change, President Muhammadu Buhari vows that all those involved in the alteration of the 2016 national budget will be exposed and made to face the most severe punishment.
If you read 98.2, it talks about the debate.
On 20th July 2016, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, announced a replacement for the Chairman, House Committee on Appropriation, Abdulmumin Jibrin.
That's not the way to address the Speaker, please.
Dogara informed his colleagues that the House leadership had taken the decision to replace him, as Mr. Jibrin had approached him privately, saying he could no longer continue as chairman of the Committee on Appropriation. Mr. Jibrin is then replaced with Mustafa Dawaki, representing Kudu Warawa Federal Constituency of Kano State.
The commitment on the part of the leadership that we'll look into the appropriation process to see that we'll strengthen it in order to avoid pitfalls of the past. And one of the resolutions that we arrived at was to effect a change of leadership of the Committee of Appropriation. And incidentally, the chairman himself woke up to me this morning after that decision was taken and said that the burden is too much for him. He doesn't think he will be able to continue. So because of that, I will announce the change. The change is that Honorable Mustafa Baladawaki would take over as Chairman Appropriation Committee of the House.
In a surprise response, however, the relieved Chairman of the House Committee on Appropriation discountenances the Speaker's statement.
Illegality that it should be brought forward.
In sharp contrast to his calm acceptance of his removal, Mr. Jibrin insists that relieving him of his position is a complete misrepresentation, false, mischievous, unfair, and a calculated attempt to bring his name to disrepute, blackmail him, silence him, and use him as a scapegoat.
I wasn't forced to resign. I resigned on my own volition. Until date, I have said if anybody has anything that I have done that amounts to an abuse of my office or amounts to an illegality, that it should be brought forward.
He demands the resignation of the Speaker of the House, Yakubu Dogara, the Deputy Speaker, Yusuf Lassun, and 2 other principal officers, saying they were not comfortable with his independent disposition and refusal to cover up their unilateral decision to allocate to themselves 40 billion naira out of the 100 billion naira allocated to the entire National Assembly. According to Jibrin, his offense was the disagreement he had with some principal officers on the issue of immunity and budget. A group within the House of Representatives, under the aegis of Transparency Group, wants the Speaker and others alleged to be involved in the 2016 budget padding to be thoroughly investigated.
We hereby dissociate ourselves from all the statements made by Honorable Namdas in respect of the budget padding controversy. The history of the 2016 budget padding is not new, because we have at different times raised this issue to alert Nigerians on the move by our presiding officers and some principal officers to insert unnecessary and illegal projects into the appropriation bill with a view to taking advantage of their respective positions against the collective national interests.
The heat gets hotter as the House of Representatives challenges the former chairman of the House Committee on Appropriation to present credible and authentic documents to back up his allegations of wrongdoing against principal officers in the House.
Confirming some of the reasons for his removal, and true to type, Honorable Mumini has since, after his sack, resorted to blackmail. He stock in trade. He has released documents from dubious sources in a desperate bid to lure gullible members of the public to his side. Mr. Speaker's input to the 2016 budget was signed and delivered to him. If he has honor, let him release the signed inputs of Mr. Speaker and not pieces of paper that bears no acknowledged authorship. Our counsel to Honorable Abdul Mumini is for him to be real as a man by bringing up credible, authentic, and verifiable documents.
Mr. Dave Ogbole is a political matters analyst. He urges Nigerians to continue to support the members of the National Assembly to deepen the nation's democracy, but recommends a thorough investigation and sanctions to serve as a warning to public officials who manipulate public documents.
The major bulk of controversies that have trailed the 8th Assembly, especially at the national level, a lot of them are political in nature. They are not they don't boil down to the nitty-gritties of budget, appropriation, budget passage, and so on, because they are primarily not responsible for the making of the budget. They are supposed to just ratify the budget as an independent arm of the government in the interest of checks, and balances. So the issues trailing the 8th Assembly right now are basically political in nature. And if you dig deep into these issues, you will discover that the budget matter could just be one flank of the political, fight that is ongoing in the 8th National Assembly. And my take, basically, the integrity of the Assembly, especially the leadership, has been brought to question, on several accounts. And if you look at global best practices today, when somebody's integrity is brought to question and the evidences seem to be strong, he does not galvanize the support of other senators to accompany him to the code of conduct, tribunal trials, thereby stalling Senate processes and so on. When your integrity is brought to question and the allegations are this strong, it behoves you as an individual who will be able to maintain your name and be able to, come up in future political balances to at least resign. There are legal provisions when it comes to the issues of, forgery, issues of money laundering, issues of financial dishonesty. Those ones they are financial crimes. And since there are legal provisions on ground, all I will advocate is that the legal procedures be followed, so that those people, if they are found guilty, of course, they should be brought to book as a deterrent to others, because Nigeria will not stop, making budgets. And if there has been no punishment meted out, you discover that such evil will continue to be fertilized. So it is important that somebody is brought to book and the whole nation knows that, yes, we are out strongly in the war against corruption. Because the problem with us basically is we don't have issues with allegations, we don't have issues with arrests, but the issue of prosecution and meting out of punishment is where we have trouble with. For instance, in the issue of insecurity now, a lot of people have been arrested and charged, but who has been brought to book? And as long as, evil is not punished, people will see evil as something that is permissible. So let the law take its full course if those people are found guilty of budget padding.